Okay, it's a beautiful day. Today I want us to look at a very simple topic, which is cubic function, paper 2, grade 12. Now, as we are preparing for our final examination, we should always remember that practice makes perfect. Practice makes you not to forget when you are tested. But if you don't practice enough, you can easily forget. So now let's begin with our lesson. Now, cubic function comes in two different ways. The first one is this one, which I want to show you. This was a 2022 paper 2 internal. We can see at this kind of a question 8A, answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper. So you need to have a graph paper or a graph pad, which is this one. And then you also need to be able to have a pencil and a pen and also a ruler and your calculator as well as an eraser, so that you are able to answer this question effectively. So the first thing to do is to always, if you want, you can go ahead and copy this table on your graph paper. Then once you do this, then you can go ahead and answer the question that they want you to answer. Question number 1 is here, calculate the value of k. So in order for you to calculate the value of k, it's very easy. They have already given you the equation here. You can see this equation, which of course it is the graph. So in order for you to calculate the value of k, which is of course in this box, all you have to do is to work it out like this. So we don't work it in any other piece of paper apart from our graph pad, our graph paper. So what we do is we're just going to get the original equation which makes this curve. In this case, it is given us y. So we write Roman numeral number 1 here. Y is equal to x minus 3. And we are also told x minus 5 and x plus 2. So now we want to find the value of y. So do we know the value of x? In this case, we do, because the value of x is k, is 6. So since the value of x is 6, what we are going to do is, where there is x, we replace with the 6. Then we find the value of y. So we're just going to say, therefore, what is my x? My x is 6 there. So I just replace 6 minus 3, okay? 6 minus 5 and 6 plus 2. Since I have replaced now, all you have to do is to do a quick calculation. If you want, you can get your calculator to be accurate. Just say 6 minus 3, you get 3. So you are going to write your 3 there. Put it in brackets. 6 minus 5, that is your 1. Then 6 plus 2, that is 8. Now, since you have these brackets, brackets simply means multiplication. So we are just multiplying 3 times 1 times 8. Okay, so if you want, you can put brackets because you want to be accurate. So 3, so we say open brackets, 3, close brackets, open brackets, 1, close brackets, open brackets, 8, close brackets, which gives you 24. Okay, so this is equal to 24. So this is the value of y. The value of y is equal to 24. This is same way. If you want to do, you can do it 3 times 1 times 8. You will still get 24. So brackets simply means multiplication. So we have the value of k, which is 24. You are done. This is 1 mark only. So when we have the value of k, which is 24, then we can go ahead and answer the question that follows. What is the next question? The next question is, using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis for negative 2 less or equal to x less or equal to 6, and a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 units on the y-axis for this range, draw the graph of this. So they have given us the range that we need to reach on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So we just need to draw this graph and we get ourselves a 3 marks. So how do we do it? Okay, so you get your pencil, then we come to our graph here. Since we already have this drawn in our graph paper, so it will be very easy. So when drawing this, you need to be very accurate. Remember, they are simply saying that you need to use this scale, 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis. So if you know that it's 2 centimeters, this graph of yours is divided into 2 centimeters. The distance from this highlighted line to this other line here, it is 2 centimeter. If you count these two small lines, there are 10 of them. So it means that if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this will be 5 there. Okay, so meaning that this from here to there is 2 centimeter, and where you count 1, 2, 3, 5 is the middle of 2 centimeter. So now we are going to use 2 centimeter to represent 1 unit on the x-axis, and then 2 centimeter to represent 10 units on the y-axis. So let's see our range. So we can write it just here to be so accurate. On the x-axis, let's just say on the x-axis, the range they want, I'm writing with a pencil. On the x-axis, what I need to do is to follow this range, -2 all the way to +6, using 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter to represent 1 unit. Okay, that is what they are talking about. And then on the y-axis, they are simply telling us that we should use 2 centimeter to represent 10 units. Now, if they say 10 units, what they mean is just 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 1 unit, they simply means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's what they mean by these units. So don't be confused. So now let's go ahead and sketch our graph. So we are going to divide our graph. Let's see, we are moving all the way from y-axis. They are simply saying we should have a range of -10 all the way to 40. So we are moving from -10 all the way to 40. Okay, so in this case it will be as follows. So let's do this. Okay, so I'll make sure, I'll try by all means to make sure the graph is at the center. So I'll say I need to go all the way to -10 on the y-axis and also +40. Then on the x-axis, I just need to go 2 times to the left and 6 times to the negative, to the right. So I'll put it there and say, okay, from here, I can move 1, 2, I'll be okay. Then this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll be okay. Then this side, I need to go, I need to move 10, using 2 centimeters to represent 10 units all the way to 40. So it will be 10, 20, 30, 40. So meaning it will be there. And this side down, I can also move 1, which is 10. So it is just a single move with single box, which I'll move here to there, 10. So let me sketch my graph now that I have a rough sketch of how it will look like. So I can put it there, just draw using a pencil. Of course, you need to be very, very accurate. Draw using a pencil. Then I have another line there which moves down like that. Okay, then we can name this side different axis. So we have 0 there. Then we have what is here? We have on the x-axis is 1 unit, so it will be 2 centimeters using 1 unit, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have -1 and -2. Then the other side, we are going to have 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, and this side we have -10, and we are done. Hence we have we need to name these axes. This is y and this is x. Remember, the whole of this line, x is equal to 0, and the whole of this line, the whole of this axis is simply y is equal to what? Y is equal to 0. Just in case they ask you which line is y is equal to 0, this is the line y is equal to 0. Okay, hopefully I'm making myself clear here. Okay, so once that is done, we need to move on to the next stage now of plotting. Okay, so now let's plot now. We start plotting, we put using a pencil. Now, when plotting, you need to be extra careful. Don't put stars. What I mean by stars is something like this. Don't put these stars like this. No, just put a dot. Okay, a small dot like that, which will help you in drawing. So let's start with -2, 0. -2, 0, this is our graph. -2 is here, 0. Since we know y, this whole line is y is equal to 0, so the point will just be there. So we put a point there. X is -2, y is 0, so it's here. So we put a dot there. The next point is negative 1, 24. So negative 1, 24. Negative 1 is here. 24 is, this is 20. So if this is 10, meaning that the single line, this one represents 1. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, you put a dot there. Okay, like that. The next one is, we have 0, 30. So 0, 30 will be 0, 30 there. Just put your point there, like that. The next one is 1, 24. So 1, 24 again is just there. We count from 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the dot there. The next one is 2, 12. 2, 12. If this is my 10, 10, 11, 12 is there. You put a dot. Okay. The next one is 3, 0. 3, 0. X is 3. Y is 0. So it will just be there. Okay. So you put your dot there. The next one is 4, negative 6. 4, negative 6. So this is 4, negative 6. If this is 10, then it means that I just have to count 6 going down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 4, negative 6 there. Then the next one is 5, 0. 5, 0 will just be there. You put your dot there. Then the last one now is 6, 24. What is the value of k? We found the value of k to be 24. So it will be 6, 24. So you go ahead and plot 6, 24, which is just here 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So when you are done, you are going to have dots. You can see the dots that I've put here. So these dots, you need to be so flexible in connecting them. Make sure that you connect without any error. So let's try to connect them starting from negative 2 here. So we are going to move like this, or we can start from here going like that all the way there. Make sure you don't join. So let me start from here. Hold your breath. Okay, perfect. You see that? I didn't shake or shiver because I was moving according to my easiest direction. So you can do the same as well. If this is your easiest direction without stopping, then go ahead and use this direction. For me, it was this one. Hence, I've drawn the graph and I have 3 marks. So if you do this, you get 3 marks here and 1 mark for finding the value of k, and you have 4 marks out of 9 marks. So now let's continue answering the question. Now, the next question is, use your graph to estimate the gradient. Okay, so now here we are going to estimate the gradient by using our graph. So use your graph to estimate the gradient. The gradient at the curve at the point of the curve at the point negative 1, 24. So negative 1, 24, we just have to go to our graph here and identify the point negative 1, 24. This is where the gradient will be. So we draw the tangent first. So this will be the tangent. So negative 1 is here, 24 is there. So we're just going to draw a straight tangent here where the dot here is. So we just draw a straight tangent here. You know, a tangent is simply a line that is touching only at a single point. So we draw a straight tangent like that. Okay, so it's only touching here. So that is a tangent. So once you have this tangent, you can easily now find another point to be able to find the gradient at this point. So how do you find another point? You look at this tangent, it will cut these boxes. So get any point where at least you have a cross section, like a cross section, I mean like this, you see this, and then a line, this tangent line is cutting exactly there at the center. Then you can get this point by simply saying this one here, x there and y there. That's what I mean. So now let's look at that. We follow our tangent nicely, and the point you are getting should be inside the curve, not outside, but inside. So we already have one. In this case, let me just label it so that we already know. We have negative 1, 24 there. That's point number 1. Then point number 2, we can get any point number 2. We can get this one here. See this one? We can say what will be this? Okay, this is not cutting exactly at the cross section, but this one is, this one here is, and this one here is. So we can get this one if we want, or we can get this one here because this one is. Okay, so let's get this one here. Okay, it's just there now, not that one, but this one. Okay, so let's get negative 1 comma 20, negative 1.1 2 3 4 5, negative 1.4 comma 20. So the other point will be negative 1.4 comma 20. Okay, this is a point here we have picked. So we have 2 points now. In order for you to find the gradient, you know the formula. I assume you know the formula to finding the gradient. Now, the formula to find the gradient is always found by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is the distance in the y-axis and distance in the x-axis. So since I already have 2 coordinates, which is negative 1 comma 24, and also I have another one which I picked negative 1.4 comma 20, I use these coordinates to find the gradient by naming them x1, y1, x2, y2. So I replace there and I'll find my gradient and I'll be done. What is my y2? Y2 is 20, so it will be 20 minus y1 is 24 over x2 is negative 1.4 minus what is my x1 to be negative 1. So don't make mistakes here. There is negative minus and negative 1. So this should be in brackets in order for you to differentiate. Okay, so what is 20 minus 24? So this will be negative 4. So punch your calculator if you are not so conversant. You say 20 minus 24, you are going to get negative 4. So that's what you write here. And then after that, you say over. Again, you say negative 1.4 minus, open brackets, minus 1, close brackets, which will be negative 0.4. Negative 0.4. Okay, so just divide this now. We say what is negative into negative, that is positive. So we know that these will divide each other. We have a positive. So we are just going to say what is 4 divided by 0.4, which is 10. Okay, so we have 10. So our gradient is 10. We can say 10 units. That's our gradient. We are done. We have found our gradient and we get 2 marks. Okay, this is 2 marks. So we have found your gradient. The next thing which you need to find now is the area. Okay, and this is the interesting part. Area bounded by the curve x is equal to 1, negative 1, and x is equal to 2, and y is equal to 0. So in this case, we need to identify the points. So let's identify the points where is x is equal to negative 1. X is equal to negative 1 is this one here. And x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 is this distance from there to there. And y is 0. So y is 0 is this line. So in short here, they are simply saying that we should find our area. Area is bounded from this region. So negative 1 is here. So we go up the curve like that. Okay. So up the curve, we can sketch it, draw a straight line there, all the way to 2. So the range is 1 to 2. So positive 2 is there. So everything inside this distance from here to there, everything inside the curve is needed. So you can just more like do a rough art to show the area that they are asking you to find. This is the area. Okay, so once you do that, you have shaded the area or the region they want. Then how do we then find the area itself? So to find the area is very easy. The first thing you need to do is to just count the boxes that are there. Okay, you see you have a lot of squares in this area bounded. You have at least complete squares. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are complete squares. What do I mean by complete squares? They are not cut. You can see like this box is cut here. It's not complete because this part is not counted. So it's cut. So this is not complete, but these are complete. So in order for you to find area, first of all, you have to find the area of a full box. Area of a full box. So this full box is what we call the rectangle. So let's say area of a what? Area of a full box. Okay, full box, which is a rectangle, and the rectangle is given by length times breadth. So meaning this will be my length. Okay, we can say length times breadth. So this will be my length and this is my breadth. If I find the area of a full rectangle, it will be very easy for me to find the area of everything. So in this case, we are saying that what is my breadth? My breadth is from 0 to 10, so my breadth is 10. So we are going to say area of a full one, it will be 10 times, what is my length? My length is 1, okay, from 0 to 1, so it will be 1. What is 10 times 1? That is 10 units, okay, 10 units square. That is my area of a full rectangle. So now to find the area now of all complete boxes, you count them. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5, isn't it? So you are just going to say the area of full boxes. We are simply saying 5 times 10, which gives us 50 units squared. Very good. So once we write this now, then we move on to how can I now include these half boxes? You just have to write area now of half what? Boxes. Area of half boxes. So area of half boxes is very easy. You just count them and multiply them with the area of the full box. Okay, so let's count how many half boxes do we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. You can see all these 4 are half boxes. So we just say 4 times 10, which gives us 40. Now remember, we are simply talking of half. So this 40 is not the actual answer. Half is simply 1 over 2. Every half should be divided by 2. So in this case, we are going to divide this 40 by 2, which we are going to get 20 units squared. Okay, so it means that we have found the area of half boxes, in this case, which is 20. Okay, so the next stage which we should focus on is how then should we find the total area. So total area, okay, total area bounded by the region that is given, we found it by simply adding the area of full boxes and plus the area of half boxes. Then we get the total area. So in this case, we are simply saying the area of full boxes is 50 there. So it will be 50 plus the area of half boxes is 20 plus 20, which gives us 50 plus 20, 70 units. Okay, 70 units squared. So this is the final area. So this is how you find the area of a cubic function or area bounded by the curve. Okay, so once you do this, my dear friends, then you have yourself what we call 9 marks. So let me just write with a pencil to indicate the marks you get. So this is 1 mark. There you get 1 mark. Just drawing this curve here, you get yourself 3 marks. This curve is just 3 marks. Okay. And then once you get 3 marks, you get your gradient. Your gradient is 2 marks. And your area as well. Your area in this case is 3 marks. Okay. So we have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So total marks here, we are simply saying total marks. Okay, total marks is 9. So you have total marks 9. Once you do this, you get 9 out of 12. Then the last question that you need to solve to get 12 marks is this simple algebraic expression. So this one gives you 3 marks. In so doing now, it means that you will be able to get your 12 marks. Hopefully I've made cubic functions easy for you, I mean. So let's practice and get our distinction, our 6 points in our final examination. So this is how you work out cubic functions in a different way and simpler way. Hopefully I've made it easy. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do subscribe so that next time you don't miss these important videos. Now I'll be looking at a different cubic function in our next video, which will, of course will be something already drawn, and now you're asked to find these equations and also the area. So don't miss out, but instead be attentive and practice to get distinctions. Remember, if you don't practice for your final examination, just know that you are practicing to fail. Be smart and watch more videos in order for you to understand. We end here. Bye-bye.